Hey skippers, Captain Rob here. I'm just going to go ahead and show you all how to set up our spinnaker, our roller furling spinnaker. That way when you want to go out and it's a nice light day, you know how to set it up. Okay, so first thing is, of course, we get our spinnaker pole. So sometimes, mostly it's going to be in the dock box. We are looking to attach it up here. But you'll take your spinnaker pole, and we want to take this end here. It's got the hooks on it, versus the end with the feet. The feet are going to go back here. So you're going to take it like this, and we're just going to put it right through this hole. And we're just going to stop right there for right now. That's where we just want to get started for it. And now we're going to get the sail and get that set up. Okay, so we got our sail bag, and we know a lot of times it's going to get a little messed up when we put the sails in and out. So you just want to go ahead and get it out of the sail bag. Really just dump it out that way. So it's going to be a mess sometimes to get that cleaned up. This will be our top. Just want to lay it out. And this is our furling line, so we want to make sure this is clear before we get anything else set up. So we're just going to go ahead and untangle this. Okay, so we've got it entangled, and we're going to go ahead and take the tack here, this portion here. This will go ahead and attach the front of the spinnaker pole. So you just pull this pin, and this will open up. So we want to open it up and get it ready to attach to the front. It's important to make sure, having from experience, make sure you get this outside the bow pulpit. And then just hook it into the top up here. Pull the pin, make it going easier, and just make sure it's secure. And that's going to be secure in there. Then we're going to take our furling lines. Okay, so now we got the furling line out. We'll just make sure she's clear there. I'm going to start running it aft. Just make sure the lines don't cross. So you spread them out like that, and we're going to run into these guides. So putting it through the guides, you're just going to flip them through here, and they'll just go in there pretty easy. These, and then it has a lock on the bottom and the top, and so we'll just have this there. I'm going to leave those loose, and we're going to get back to finishing up on this in a moment. We'll go ahead and get the rest of the front done. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and attach the spinnaker pole into the deck to make sure she's secure. So you just take this end here, making sure, again, your feet are at the bottom. We're going to slide it forward and pick up this deck attachment so it's straight up and down. Put your thumb on the silver lever here, and we're going to put this part right here, pull that, you can feel that open, slide it right in there, push it down, let go of that silver lever, and just pull, make sure she's secure. Let's put the spinnaker pole out. Your spinnaker pole is now fully attached. Now we're ready to go ahead and lift the spinnaker. Okay, so at this point we want to go and take the spinnaker halyard. So it's always attached here, so you're first going to unlock it back by the hatch, and then loosen up a little bit. Pull the clip out here, and then pull it outside the jib sheet. It's important you get it outside the jib sheet. Walk it around to the bow. Then we're going to go back to the head of the spinnaker and connect it there. Make sure she's free of all the lines. Okay, so we're just going to take the shackle, put it through the silver shackle receptor up here, turn it on the side, put it through, pull the pin. She's good, she's secure. Now we're ready to go ahead and lift the spinnaker up. Okay, so of course in Island Dreams, all the halyards are on the port side. This one's clearly marked spinnaker, so of course it's unlocked. And we have a nice new Dyneema line for it. So we'll just start easily pulling up the spinnaker. Just making sure she's free of everything. Go ahead. Okay, so you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna have to winch it up because you need to get it tighter. And how tight you need to get it, we wanna get this black piece of tape. It can't go any further in here. We don't want it to go through the rope clutch. So just anywhere right in here is fine. That'll make sure it's tight enough. So we're just gonna get that a little tighter right there. And then we're gonna lock the rope clutch. And now our spinnaker is up correctly and we can stow our line. Okay, so we've got our furling line here. As you notice, it's a continuous end. So we do want to go ahead and we have to make sure that we put it through a pulley, because if not, when we try to pull the sail out, it's going to get stuck. So what we have here is we've attached a snatch block here. So this just opens and closes. So it's just simple. You don't need to do anything except for pull it apart. You're going to take this line, pop it inside, close it, and now you've got this. There's slack, and slack is okay because you're going to be pulling this line, but you want to just make sure it's connected. If not, it's going to lock there. When you're pulling the sail out or trying to bring it in, it won't be able to go through. So this will always be attached to the vessel, so you just pull it out from when we do the spinnaker. Okay, so this is our spinnaker sheet. We only have one sheet. We don't have one for each side. If you need to tack with the spinnaker, what we tell you to do is go ahead and furl the spinnaker back up and then bring the sheet to the other side. We don't want you tacking while underway with the spinnaker because that's where we're going to have trouble with it tearing. So we're going to start out with the sheet right here. A lot of times what we recommend is it's going to be tied up here to the bow pulpit, and when you're ready to use it, you're going to untie it, take it to the stern. So we have a wind coming off our starboard bow for this exercise, so we're going to bring it down the port side. Okay, so we have our spinnaker sheet back here. We want to make sure it's run outside of everything. So if I ran it through right now, we'd have a problem. So we want to go outside the bimini and under the lifelines. So she's run like this. And the spinnaker sheet actually goes through on the port and starboard sides, goes through these aft pulleys here. So we'll pull this tight. And then we'll take the jib sheet off, let that lie loose before putting the spinnaker sheet on the pulley. At this point, I know that side's ready to go. So we can go ahead and pull out the spinnaker. So we're just gonna pull it out. I don't know if you can see here, but this has got a double wrap. So it's wrapped back over itself. That means that it wasn't kept tight when it's furled up, and this becomes a problem for the next person taking out. This sail would not be able to be used today. So we do have to unwrap it. So just make sure when you're furling it up that you keep tension on the sheet, just so it wraps up nice and neatly. Okay, so this is the spinnaker, how she should look all the way out. You will see that gap between the spinnaker and the furling line up there. And then she's sheeted back here. So now we're going to go over to the starboard side because we are going to furl it back in. You can see this is a little tight here. And so we would just go ahead and start furling. It doesn't really matter what side you use. I like it if it actually gets on when you're pulling it. Sorry, Pelican's eating. If you're pulling it, it pulls in on the starboard side like that. Just to wrap it in that way, that'll make it easier. And just again, make sure that we have some tension on the sheet when we're furling it in. That'll make it easier. Okay, so we're just furling it in. It's gonna come up nice and easy. And I've got my mate over there on the sheet to make sure that's tight. And the reason we want it so tight too is because in case we leave it up when it's windy, so that it does not come loose. And since this is a never-ending line, it doesn't matter how much you're pulling on it. So we make it nice and tight. We do want to wrap it around. Wrap that sheet around a couple times. Just make it easier. Nate, give me some more slack. Okay, now we're good to go. Okay, so now that we've got the sail secure, we want to go ahead and take the furling line, and we're just going to lock it through the top and the bottom, pulling it tight on both of these. That way the sail can't easily come loose. So as you can see, that spinnaker is pretty tight. So once again, it's not going to come loose if we have the wind coming by. So now we're taking the sheet. I'm going to try to grab it around right here. You see the sheet is actually wrapped around the sail a couple times, so we're also hold it in tight. We're just going to take the sheet and we're going to go ahead and coil it up. And this sheet will just be stowed here in the bow, out of the way. Now we have the spinnaker sheet, so we just have it coiled up here, and we're going to just secure it to the forward pulpit. And that's when you have your spinnaker completely put away. You're ready to leave the boat at that point. That's all you find it when you come back, when it's already ready to go. And that's all you need to know for the regular part of the spinnaker. Next, we are going to go into how you can set it up a short, simple way when half the stuff is already ready for you. Okay, so now normally what we're going to do is we're going to leave the bow pulpit up and ready for you, and we're going to go ahead and leave the furling line attached for you as well. So all we're going to do at that point is take off the sail. Okay, so how we can do that, leave all this attached to make life easier for you. So if you show up and you see the bow pulpit on here, you're going to see the furling line, everything set here. We're going to go to this pin right here. So I'm going to take this off just by pulling this pin, and you'll see this will go ahead and disengage. And now I've got the sail off. And the only thing you're going to see is this. So this is how you'll come to the boat sometimes with this attached like this. So you're just going to have to get the sail up, lift it up to the top like you did before. You're not going to go all the way to the top, just so you can put it in here. You'll take this in here. It doesn't matter which side. Slide it in here. Make sure it's clicked in there. And then lift it up like we did in the earlier video, pulling it right to that black line again, to that black piece of tape, so it's nice and tight. And then that's as simple as it is, nice and easy for you. So that is, when we have this already set up for you, that will save you some time. And then of course, when you're done, you can put it away. Another just important feature real quick while we've got you is that if you're out sailing with the spinnaker, we've had the spinnaker pull up, even if you're not using the spinnaker, you need to drop anchor. You're just gonna loosen the halyard again. That will go ahead and take the pressure off of this, and you just move the spinnaker pole off to the side, and you'll be able to open the anchor locker. So you can go anchoring as well, even when the spinnaker is attached. That's it. Any questions, make sure you reach out. Any questions when you're out sailing, any issues, make sure you let us know. Worst case is just drop it while you're out there and put it away. Thanks for sailing with Island Sailing.